Welcome to the Raven Space on YouTube. My name is Jason, and this is Raven Space News, where we talk about Baltimore Ravens news 3 days a week. How you guys feeling? Thank you guys for joining me today. Please subscribe to Raven Space on YouTube for the best Baltimore Ravens content on the internet. I'm excited. We have some things I'm excited about, some things I'm not excited about, and we're going to hop on in to the topics of the day. We're going to talk about some signings in the pre-free agency to free agency period. We're going to talk about some roster cuts, some tenders that were used, and then my favorite segments, the mailbag and the comment of the day. First, though, we're going to talk about the Ravens agreed to sign John Brown and Ryan Grant in the pre-free agency period. There has been some developing stories to this, specifically about Ryan Grant. So I will get to those in a short order. So first, let's talk about the Ryan Grant thing. Ryan Grant is a receiver from Washington. He was going to be a high potential guy. He hasn't really put in a resume. He doesn't even have 1,000 yards in his entire career, not in the season, his entire career. However, he failed the medical test, which is wild to me. Of course, the Ravens would have a receiver that this would happen to. How do you fail your physical? I just don't get it. I don't understand the Ravens doing this, especially for a player like him who wasn't a big player on the Redskins. But he will not be signed. They did sign him. They did agree, but when he failed his physical, it's a no contract now. Second news of the day is that, not of the day, but of the time, is that John Brown probably will be a Raven. John Brown is, in my opinion, at best a second string receiver that the Ravens signed, and it reeked of desperation. I mean, all the big free agents were going to other places, and the Ravens needed to do something to try to keep fans like me and you happy. And I think they failed. I think John Brown arguably is not better than Mike Wallace. Mike Wallace showed last year that though he can't be a dominant number one, he's somewhere between a number one and a number two. Right now, John Brown is somewhere between number two and number three. Okay. Again, John Brown got outplayed by Larry Fitzgerald. I like Larry Fitzgerald. He's one of the greatest of all time, in my opinion. But he is a 36-year-old receiver, right? And this is football. It's a young man's game, okay? Especially at those type of positions where you get hit a lot, right? At quarterback, you can stay in for a long time. At receiver, those knees start breaking down on you. So it's a testament to how well and how good Larry Fitzgerald is. But it's also a testament that John Brown couldn't, play. When it was Michael Floyd was there, and Michael Floyd was a knucklehead, John Brown struggled to get on the field, okay? It was Michael Floyd, Larry Fitzgerald, and then John Brown. Right? Come on. These signings aren't going to take the Ravens to another level. Ask yourself today, are the Ravens better than they were? Are the Ravens better than they were last month? Are they? The answer right now is no. We don't have Ryan Jensen signed. We don't have Mike Wallace signed. Right now, we're not better than we were last month, right? So, again, if you're going to trade in Mike Wallace for John Brown, arguably that is a decrease. We'll see how he does in the season. Of course, I could be eating my words, but right now, I'm not really excited about this signing like I was some of the signings of last year and the year before with Eric Weddle 2 years ago, and then last year Tony Jefferson and Danny Woodhead, even though Danny Woodhead did not work out. Speaking of that, the Ravens decided to cut Jeremy Maclin, Danny Woodhead, and Austin Howard to save a little under $10 million on the cap. They've also restructured Brandon Williams' deal in order to free up about $5 million on the cap. So these are some good moves to make. They were just too expensive for the production level. You had to cut Danny Woodhead. Danny Woodhead was a no-brainer. There's no spot for him on the roster. Okay, in my opinion, there's 2 roster spots that you already have taken by You got Alex Collins and Buck Allen. And then you got players like Ken Dixon and Terrence West that are trying to make the roster. I'm pretty sure the Ravens will call some undrafted free agent at running back to add to the mix. So there's no space for him on the roster. Now, Austin Howard, I was surprised about simply because I thought, he was pretty okay at right tackle. I thought they would keep him there, especially with the fact that without him, we don't have a right tackle. So either your only two options are to move Alex Lewis to right tackle, Alex Lewis is an injury-prone player. He's been injured 2 years in a row. So in the comments, if you tell me he's not injury-prone, I'm just going to ignore you, right? So just like you guys told me Jeremy Maclin wasn't injury-prone, and he was injured last year, and he was injured in Philadelphia, and he was injured when he was a Chiefs player, right? Injury-prone. So he's injury-prone. He's an injury-prone player, so putting him at tackle is going to be tough. I don't really like that move. And the issue is all the big free agents are gone. So who are the Ravens chasing? There's a couple of offensive linemen out there, but with the signing of Hurst, they signed him to money that he's a starter. So I don't know where they're going here. I don't know if they're just trying to free up cap just to have it. I don't know. So again, all the big players in free agency are gone. So what are they going to do now? I don't know. But again, what had to happen, Maclin was not doing well at all. You had to let him go. Austin Howard, I really thought they were going to keep him, but they decided against that. And then last, but of course not least, Brandon Williams getting his deal restructured is great because honestly, he was not performing like his contract was. And we needed to restructure it, because he was not performing to that level. So now we're going to go into the third topic and some real good news. Ravens used the restricted free agent tender on 7 players, including Alex Collins. So again, the restricted tender, if you guys don't know, requires these 7 players to sign with the Ravens. No other team can bid on them. No other team can, woo them with grandeur. So good news for the Ravens. Some players on the list include, of course, Alex Collins, Maley, the tight end. You have Peanut Antuar. So it's a lot of good players. I'm happy that the Ravens chose to go this route. They had 7 players available for the tender. They used it on all of them. So again, super duper excited about that. We gotta make a decision on Alex Collins. Are we going to make him, a long-term option? Do the Ravens believe in him? I don't think they do. Honestly, I believe in him, but by the way that they were so hesitant to give him minutes in the season, I don't think they believe in him. So we'll see what happens, but the Ravens have used their tag, restricted tender on them, and now they have to sign with the Ravens. Now we're going to go to my favorite segments of the day. The Raven Space Mailbag, sponsored by Raven Space Patreon. Thank you guys so much. You guys are the best people ever. And this question comes from The Black Guy, and he asked, should the Ravens go and get Eric Ebron, or do you think finding a second-tier receiver is more important? Again, free agency is moving fast, so by the time this goes up, Eric Ebron might not be available. But I would say that Eric Ebron is a second-tier tight end. If you were asking me first-tier tight end versus second-tier receiver, I'd go first-tier tight end. But you're asking me second-tier tight end versus second-tier receiver, I would go second-tier receiver. Right now, the Ravens got a receiver at best right now that's going to be a second wide receiver. There are no more second-tier receivers left, I don't believe. Because if this is the best the Ravens can do, I don't think there are any second-tier receivers left. The Ravens are losers in free agency. They really are. We'll see what happens, but they did not use free agency to make their team better, like a couple of different teams did, specifically the Browns, making some trade moves and all this good stuff in this free agency period. So, it is what it is, but I would take second-tier receiver versus second-tier tight end any day of the week. Now it's the comment of the day, and this comment comes from Speedy Reedy, and he asks, you're going to make a Ladarius Webb career highlights video as a Raven Space feature or quick hit and tribute to his swan song / departure from the team? Thank you so much, Speedy Reedy. I just want to be clear. Those three things are different. So the word ass kind of messes me up. You have a highlight video, you have a Raven Space feature, and then you have quick hits. Quick hits are news. Raven Space features are longer form stuff, and highlight videos are highlight video. You guys know that. So I'll definitely do a highlight video for you guys. And if you want me to do a feature, let me know in the comments below. Let me know early, so I can do it for you and prepare that up. So thank you guys so much. Thank you for watching. Sorry about all the inconsistency. If you guys want to know, I use XSplit to make these videos, and it helps with the live streaming and stuff. It is being very crappy. I'm going to switch to probably OBS, but that's why I've been so inconsistent, because my software is breaking down on me. Thank you guys so much, and go Ravens.